Previously on Mass Effect Andromeda.
What the fuck, no?
Enjoy the video. It's still on there, my god. What? She is? Email terminal. Sure. I already did that, but okay. A reminder to writer from Cora. Thanks for talking. Things feel better, though they don't feel fixed yet. Remember to take time for yourself, too. Work's important, but so is time to grieve. Grief and fear cannot rule you. Let them be your faithful servants, protective of their mistress. Loss serves a huntress like fuel serves fire. Esther's 12 Leaves, verse 132. So you're like the Ashley of this game. You're also into poetry. I dig that. P.S. Plants are coming along. Sam and I are learning about botany together. Interesting times. That's exciting. I'm glad you found a hobby. To writer from PB of Appeaved. My god, you're adorable. Your doctor is one of the nosiest, not noisiest, what the fuck? Nosiest Asari I've ever met. And that's saying a lot. She needs to take it down 4 or 5 notches or I won't be long for this show. Which would be too bad, I think. Oh, never mind, PB. My god, your mind is just all over the place. So, do you want me to talk to you about, or maybe even talk to Lexi, saying, hey, PB doesn't like the intrusiveness? I mean, I'm sure she's doing it for your own well-being, but, you know, she also needs to make sure you're comfortable. So, I'll talk to both of you. How's that? Proud to be here. To writer from Liam. Hey, Pathfinder. Just hitting this point again. Our team, no place I'd rather be. Here's where we get to fix things. As soon as we have people on the ground, I'll have eyes on how to get them what they need. This sort of just make it happen is why I joined the hustle and exactly why I came here. We'll do it. Costa. Liam has included a list of media themed to frontiers. Genres include Western space opera and oddly terrain historical dramas. Ooh. That's cool. Liam, I really like your enthusiasm. You're the boss. You're writer from Vectra. Pathfinder, I thought I ought to clarify. I know I said something about back channels, doing what I have to do. Being on the Nexus during the bad times, a lot of us got used to a lot of ugly things because survival just isn't that pretty. But in the end, I'm here to help you. So if there's anything you don't like, I won't do it. Simple as that. Vectra. Huh. Okay. In case you're interested, to writer from Lexi. Attachment Krogan, Virility, and Aggression. Oh. Attached is my Krogan thesis that I mentioned to you. I know, only 500 pages. I'm not going to read all that, just telling you now. But I wasn't allowed to go over. If you get through it, I won't. I wrote a longer dissertation for the Citadel Journal of Medicine, around 1,400 pages. That's much more insightful and includes mating diagrams. Forgive me, but I'm cool on watching Krogans fuck. I'm sure you understand. News from EOS. Oh! August, what's up, my man? I could use your help with something. Hanley is working on. I don't remember which one that is. I feel bad. I don't fully understand, so I'll let her explain it. She'll brief you when you get here. August Bradley. Sure. So now I have motivation to go back to EOS. And this is all stuff that I've already... Okay. Cool. Maybe I should, like, archive all the... fuck it. I'm not going to waste my time. I've heard that there's a place where I can equip things, and it's near where you are, Suvi. I don't know where it is, though. Maybe it's over here. It is here. Give me this. I finally fucking did it! I finally equipped something! I'm so proud of myself. Okay, I'm done. Can I, like, talk to all the crew members again? I like character development. Hey, you. Let's have another very sensitive talk about religion.
I saw pictures of the vault. Astounding how big it is. And how much of it didn't you see? What if it's way bigger? What's all that space for?
Wild remnant parties. What else would you use it for?
Well, that's a thought. You don't really think they... Oh, joking. I see. Good one.
My God, get a sense of humor, would you? Let's just talk about things. I like having conversations with NPCs. I know a lot of people are probably going to get turned off by this, but like I said, I like character development.
I take it you work closely with the Nexus Science team?
I try to keep in contact with them. We discuss anything and everything we discover out here. After all, many brains are better than one, and Dr. Aridana is worth 2 or 3 at least. I work best when I have other people to bounce ideas off of.
I don't really trust her, though, just saying.
I'm still fuzzy about how we managed to see Andromeda all the way from home.
It confused me too. I mean, the light lag would have made any data 2 million years out of date. So I asked Dr. Aridana, and she told me, well, it wasn't her tech that did it. It was the Geths.
You're kidding. Those killer robots we had in the Milky Way?
Those exact ones. The Initiative obtained data from an array in deep space, a Geth construct. According to Aridana, the Geth rebuilt a mass relay and turned the approach corridor into an FTL sensor.
A what now?
It operated like a telescope, just faster than light. It provided much more up-to-date info. We don't know why the Geth were interested in observing beyond the galaxy, though. Maybe we'll never know.
You never know.
How did the Initiative even get its hands on Geth knowledge? They're isolationist and hostile.
I don't know, Ryder. Maybe I don't want to know.
The truth is a scary thing. Also, what do you think of this terraforming business?
What do you know about the Remnant's terraforming network?
From what I can tell, the vault is designed to adjust almost everything about a planet.
Whoa.
Climate, pH of the soil, atmosphere composition. There's even evidence that it can propagate life. If we can figure out how to control the vaults, we could turn these worlds into perfect habitats.
Well, isn't that just convenient as shit? The Scourge. It's a bad thing.
What do you know about the Scourge?
We established that it's artificial. Someone put it there. Or they did something that caused its creation. We don't know why. That's still a mystery.
Well, hopefully we'll get to the bottom of it. Let's, have a very uncomfortable discussion now.
When did you start believing in a god?
My parents were both scientists. My home was ruled by rationality. So when I became a teenager, let's just say that while other kids found Batarian music, I found God.
But your work as a scientist?
Convinced me even more, especially when I got into molecular biology, physics. The patterns I kept seeing over and over again, they were like an artist's watermarks. God, to me, is an artist. An inventor, not someone checking to see if I brush my teeth.
Actually, that's kind of what my parents did, too. Like, whenever, I, like, forgot to brush my teeth, or, like, I made a mess and didn't clean it up, you know, little stuff like that, they're like, God is watching you, DT. Except they didn't call me DT, of course, but... See, I was kind of the inverse of what you are. As I got older, I actually had less and less faith, and as I discovered more science stuff, that everything has a logical explanation, I became an atheist. But there's some things that, even though they can be explained, they're just so fantastical, and really, I can kind of see where you're coming from. I can kind of see your logic, and I respect that, and I really respect your honesty, too. I like you, Suvi. You're really cool.
I should get back to things.
Sounds good.
And I know I've said this before, but your accent is fucking infectious. Kylo, my main man. How's tricks?
Hello, Gil. When are you cleaning up that repair on the sensor console?
I'm not. It's a redesign.
A redesign? Without a trained crew?
I'm trained and it's working great. Don't be so uptight.
Everything okay?
Oh, fine. Fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna worry about it.
What can I do for you?
Just tell me about this.
I couldn't help overhearing you and Gil. It sounded pretty heated.
He likes redesigning things, but the ship was built this way for a reason. I wish Gil would respect that. It's nothing to concern yourself about, really.
Okay. Just so you know, I am gonna talk to Gil about it and get his side of things. I hope you don't mind.
I'll let you concentrate.
You know where I'll be.
Maybe I'll talk to you about those other things later. Whoa. Don't get stuck on things. Wait, wasn't there someone in here? Like, I think Drac was in here, right? I am totally fucking wrong.
Drac, I'm working with Vetra to track down prosthetic gel and those other items we discussed.
You're too good to me, Doc.
Nothing for me. Playing favorites, Lexi? What? No?
What? No.
So we have a stowaway.
You mean PB?
Yep.
She's decided to set up in one of the escape pods. You don't need a psychologist to tell you that one's got commitment issues.
Uh-huh. So, you're trying to see what makes her tick, and she's not liking it. Gotcha. I'll talk to you a bit, why not?
How do you think the crew is holding up?
I'm happy to share what I can without violating patient confidentiality.
Of course.
Anyone in particular? I sort them in their files and my brain by species.
Oh, this is gonna be a while, sure. What?
Why do you sort them that way?
Just easier for me to see patterns in behavior.
Fair enough. What about this?
How do you think the human crew members are handling things?
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, there is. Let's learn about every single one of them.
Gil?
Gil likes to use humor as a defensive technique. He'd rather bury himself in the Nomad than tackle emotions head-on.
Humor is a defense mechanism for a lot of people, myself included. What about Suvi? She turns to Jesus.
Suvi okay?
Suvi's strong sense of faith keeps her grounded.
Yes.
I'm not spiritual, but there's a beauty in how her mind rationalizes religion and science.
I agree completely. I'm glad you see it that way. How's Liam? He honestly kind of has an alcohol problem. Hopefully that's not going to cloud his judgment.
How's Liam?
A handful. Every time I patch him up, he breaks something new. Liam's we can't lose attitude is commendable. But I worry how he'll react when something does go wrong.
You know, you bring up a very viable point. How's Cora doing?
How's Cora doing?
She's processing. Your father was her mentor.
Yeah.
She expected to follow in his footsteps, but he gave the role of Pathfinder to you.
Yeah.
Just because she trusts his judgment doesn't mean she's not confused. Or hurt.
I totally sympathize with her. I mean, it's gonna take time for her to like fully grieve and like process all of this, and although I need her for the mission, I'm willing to give her time to do that. So, tell me about the non-human crew. Let's talk about Drac when he's right next to us. How about that?
I'd like to check in on the non-human crew.
Ask away.
Yeah.
Is Drac good?
That old bastard's always good. I've never met anyone who can be so stubborn and so appreciative.
That's Krogan
Could
for you.
Look out for him, Ryder.
Of course.
Don't worry, Lexi. I'll keep an eye on him.
Both eyes.
Thank you. And maybe don't mention I asked?
He's literally right there. I'm pretty sure he's hearing everything we're talking about. Also, I know that you and PB have a bit of a tiff going on. Can I remedy that somehow?
Is PB alright?
She's avoiding me. Probably thinks I'll poke her with a needle if she gets too close.
To be fair, you're always giving me shots.
Yes.
Not in the hallway.
Fair enough. Vetra.
Tell me about Vetra.
Vetra's used to having someone depend on her. I think that's why she's so resourceful and likes providing for other people. That being said, I think she could use a little me time.
Couldn't we all? How's Callow doing?
How's our Solarian?
He's quite the gossip. Tight-lipped about himself, though.
He has secrets.
Thanks
What
for
else
the
can I
insight.
do here? Yes. Let's just have a convo. Just everything.
I need to talk to you about something private.
Of course. That's what I'm here for.
When Dad died, he blocked off parts of Sam's memory, things he didn't want me to see.
Or he thought you weren't ready for.
Yeah.
Maybe. I found this trigger. It unlocked a memory fragment of Dad on the Citadel, from when the Alliance rejected his ideas about AI. and he found out Mom's illness was terminal.
Why do you think your father chose this specific memory?
It was a turning point. It changed everything.
It was where his journey to Andromeda really began.
Those events started your family down a new path.
Yeah. Thanks, Lexi. Feels good to talk about this.
The camera really doesn't know which character to focus on half the time, and it's kind of awkward. Harry seems like a cool guy. If I remember right, he's the guy who's helping my sister? I'm gonna feel really bad if I get that wrong.
How long have you and Harry been friends?
I remember when he didn't complain about arthritis.
Yep, same guy.
We met at a medical convention on the Citadel. He was moderating a panel on neurosurgery in low-gravity environments. His name card was crooked, but he was so damn confident, I knew we'd be friends.
That's cute.
How did you get into medicine?
My mum was a dancer on Omega. Dad was a bouncer.
Really?
I'd patch him up after busy nights. Discovered I had steady hands.
Ah.
They put every credit they earned into my education.
No.
Are they here in Helios?
No. Both died in a turf war.
Hmm.
Made leaving the Milky Way behind easier.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sure if they were alive, they would be proud of you, like, so hard. Yeah.
So how did a sorry doctor end up on the human ark?
Specialist in alien anatomy, remember? That includes humans.
True.
Also, Harry insisted. Maybe he always intended to switch jobs.
Alright, good talk, good talk.
I'll let you get back to it.
I'll be here if you need me.
Good. You. What's up?
Ryder, you meet Spender yet? Colonial Affairs, the ass in assistant director. Got no idea why Addison keeps him around. Spender lied to the Krogan during the uprising, and he's headed out for cash ever since. He's up to something. I just can't prove it. We should pay him a visit on the Nexus.
I'm pretty sure I haven't met him yet, but he sounds like a dick. I'll be sure to confront him next time I'm there. I'm sure, since you're a Krogan, you have a lot of war stories to tell. I want to hear some of them.
Got any stories or advice to share?
Does a pyjak scratch its butt?
If I remember right, the pyjaks are the weird monkey things that are quite prominent in the first Mass Effect. And they totally scratch their butt. Yes, please.
Anything about the Ket? Or combat in general?
Well, common Ket are pretty straightforward. Hit them hard enough, they die like anything else.
It's okay. Can you be more specific, maybe?
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Wraiths are sneaky little shits, like to ghost up behind you when you least expect it. Just listen for them. They tend to give themselves away right before coming at you. Break through their head plates, then a headshot should do the trick.
You're pretty much just giving me tutorials on how to fight. This is pointless. This.
What's it like to have Kesh as a granddaughter?
Kesh is my Rushan, child of my blood. Raised her myself. Damn proud of her too. She did good, even with me for a granddad.
Well, you did something, right?
She's honest. Definitely blunt.
She had to take after me in some ways, I guess.
Sam.
Did Lexi brief you on Sam and squad connectivity yet?
Yeah. You want to hook that thing up to my comms, sure, but that's where it stops. Putting an AI in your head, giving it access to everything like that, it's begging for trouble.
Yeah, I suppose I can understand your caution, but, I mean, I'm fine.
Why do you say that?
I've seen what bots can do when they turn on their creators. Been in some of those fights. There's a reason that kind of research was outlawed.
Yeah. I was dismissed from the Alliance when news of what my dad was researching got out.
No shit. Ruined the writer name, I'll bet.
Almost.
Did put a bit of a tarnish on it. But so far, Sam and I have been pretty buddy-buddy, just saying.
Sam is part of what makes someone a Pathfinder. You're just gonna have to deal with that.
Bitch.
So long as it's not in my head and it ain't messing with my body.
Well, He hasn't messed with my body yet. I mean, he's helped my body on many occasions, but he hasn't messed with it. So, tell me about yourself, I guess.
I'd like to know more about you.
Fire away.
Sure.
So, about all this combat experience you have, I'd love some details.
Ha! The list will be shorter if you ask me what experience I don't have. I've been doing this for a long time now. Centuries. Shit, well over 1,000 years.
Wow.
Don't even know how I'm still alive, to be honest.
Skill?
You need luck to be a merc. Skill, sure, but a whole lot of luck. And a really hard head.
Crow can have that down. Oh yeah, I think when we first met, you and Vetra kind of had like a, hey, it's you moment, if I remember right. So, what's that about?
How did you and Vetra meet?
Huh, that's right. Your father brought you into the project pretty late, didn't he? Must have been a pretty steep learning curve since they thawed you out.
You could say that.
You make do with what you get. Anyway, I met Vetra back when we were building the Nexus. She swiped supplies I was trying to get for Kesh right under my nose.
Crafty.
I tried to intimidate her into turning them over to me, and let me tell you, that Turian takes shit from no one.
And that's why I like her.
She really has a way of getting things done.
She sure does. But here's the best part.
Oh?
She waited until I saw her again in Kesh's office, no less, to tell me she'd been working for Kesh all along. They're both still laughing at me over that.
I'll bet. That's gotta be a little bit embarrassing. So tell me about your species, I guess.
Tell me more about the Krogan colony.
My clan's there. We also got some scouts looking for any unclaimed territory to grab up. Got a decent setup going. Self-sustainable, the works. Even some farming.
Farming? Krogan farm?
Food's food. Just because we can eat anything doesn't mean we gotta settle for scraps. I'm pretty fond of Corcrow roots myself. Takes a while to chew through those.
I don't know what those are, but they sound delicious. This.
Why did the Krogan leave the Nexus?
The Nexus got us Krogan to stop the mutiny. In return, we were supposed to get a say in station business.
I already kind of know about
Spender,
this.
Addison's assistant, lied about the deal, and Tan came down hard. Too hard. So we left. Kesh is alone on that station now.
Just so you know, I am totally taking your side on that. You people have just gotten such a rotten deal. I know you're worried about her, because, you know, you've already kind of said that. But, you know, she can kind of hold her own, right?
Do you think Cash can handle station politics?
Kesh can handle anything. Thing is, Spender's a liar and a coward.
Fuck that guy.
He was part of the mutiny, I know he was. A lot of people got hurt because of him, on both sides.
So what's my part in this?
Things need to get sorted out, and my clan needs to get back on station, without Spender messing things up. Way I see it, you're probably the best one for that job.
If I ever see him on the Nexus, I will definitely talk to his face.
We can talk more later.
Sure.
Hey, one last thing.
Oh?
Yeah?
Oh. You know what? I view kid as more of a term of endearment more than a condescending term. So, I'm actually kind of okay with it.
Is everyone a kid to you?
Ha, when you get to be my age, yeah, pretty much.
Just so you know, I'm not all that bothered by it, so don't sweat it, man. Alright, let's go find more people. Does anyone have anything interesting? Let me try that again.
Feels like early brain surgery. Just poking and hoping.
What are you doing over here?
As long as it helps
What?
us to live here, I don't care how the vault's doing it.
Magnificently. That's how.
I prefer tech with more exposed bolts. If you can't open it, you don't own it.
Everyone is just in different places already? Whatever. Hey, Gil.
Long time no chat. What's up?
So now this is just the part where I just do all of these like investigate options, like there was in the first Mass Effect games. So, sure, why not?
Seems like we have a good group here.
Well, Vetra and Suvi are my girls. Get along well. Lots of mutual respect.
Good.
PB's a real spark plug. I like her, but she's exhausting.
I know what you mean.
My kind of guy. Brash. Takes no shit.
Yeah.
As far as your Hyperion peeps go, Doc's kind of nosy. Liam's good for a laugh or two. Cora, she's a bit by the book for me.
Yeah, she needs to maybe keep her temper in check.
Need somebody to keep the zoo in check.
Zoo? You calling me an animal rider? Ooh, can I be a mongoose? They're like cool cobra killers. No, wait, how about a crow? Smart, irreverent, obnoxious. That's it.
I'll take your word for it. What about Callow?
He's a pilot.
Which means...
He flies the ship.
We're leaving it at that, then?
I guess
Does
so.
a Pathfinder know what to do with a dead end?
Okay, so about the animal thing, you can choose whatever fursona you want. Just leave me out of it, please.
I hear we have you to thank for getting the Tempest space ready so quickly.
Vetra brings her impossible feats to me. I was itching to get this particular call. Capital R ready. Don't tell her, but the truth is, I fudge reports to come in early, then bust ass in secret to make up for it. Expands the guild legend. Plus, I convey calm and assurance, and the whole team relaxes, which helps them do their jobs better.
You definitely know what you're doing. I like that.
What's your social circle like?
I'm good for a laugh, so I know lots of people, but I don't let too many in. My one true friend is stationed on the Nexus. She's the only piece of the Milky Way I brought with me.
Aww.
The more you and I get to know each other, the more you'll probably hear about her.
I look forward to this. So, speaking of the Nexus...
How tough was it on the Nexus all those months?
Have you ever eaten overcooked space cow tongue?
That sounds disgusting. I haven't even had regular cow tongue. Although I've been tempted to. Not gonna lie.
Can't say I have.
Well, let me tell you, it's tough. Wondering if you're gonna die from a critical malfunction? Or maybe starvation? Imagining which would be worse? But hey, you could always take a break from the fear and boredom to dwell on being a part of the biggest failure in galactic history. Maybe even participate in a revolt.
What was your take on that?
I didn't place any bets, if that's what you're asking. Truth is, I don't think anyone made out particularly well. Whatever side you're on, you die a little when your brother, your teammate, becomes an enemy. We traveled all this way, all hope and wonder, and we end up fighting with each other over scraps. It's sad.
If that isn't political commentary in our real world, then I don't know what is.
Good talking to you, Gil.
Anytime.
Yeah, so when I said before that you had an attitude, that was just your sense of humor. It's kind of, it's a bit out there. It's gonna take some getting used to. PB, what is up?
You again. Want to hear more about my childhood log cabin?
I mean, sure.
So how do you like the team?
Interesting bunch. I get a good feeling from Vetra. Not your typical military-minded Turian.
Yeah, she's cool.
Liam seems a lively one. I expect he'll surprise me.
Yeah, he's
Drac
cool.
is, well, old.
Yeah, he's old.
Wonder if he can still learn new tricks.
What about...
Gil smacks of complication. Might take some unraveling. Callow and Suvi seem busy. I hope they aren't all work, work, work. Who's left?
Well, there's...
Oh, right, Cora. What's her deal? Is she as prim and proper as she comes across?
Could you please let me open my mouth and let words come out?
Oh, is it my turn to talk?
Ha, sorry. Yeah, I should work on my motor.
You might find that people reveal themselves more freely if you give them a chance. Cora included.
That's
Really
true.
good advice.
There's also Lexi, our doctor. She's an Asari.
Oh, I'll get around to her. All in all, seems like a decent bunch.
Yeah, you two have a bit of a disagreement going on. Hopefully that clears up soon. So tell me more about the Remnant, since you're like an expert on that.
What drew you to the Remnant?
Are you kidding? It's evidence of a sophisticated species no one knows anything about. It doesn't get more intriguing than that. There's so much to discover. I want to be the first to figure them out. And the tech, it's on a different scale. If we can appropriate it, who knows what advances we'll make.
Definitely sounds intriguing. So what about this?
You really won't tell me what you're working on?
That's right. Next question.
Alright then. I mean, you did say that if I bring you remnant scrap and/or I get you a bit tipsy, then you might be able to tell me things, and hopefully that will happen soon. So, next topic of discussion.
What was it like for you on the Nexus?
Well, I wasn't supposed to be woken up yet. A resourceful accomplice finagled my early thaw. So I kinda lived off the grid. Snuck around, bullshitted my way onto excursions off station. After I found my first remnant ruin, I started, borrowing shuttles. After that, I didn't spend much time on the Nexus. I even missed most of the revolt.
You said borrowing in a very hesitant manner. I know what that means. Also, this is an option now. But first, I should probably ask you if you... Yeah, I don't want to intrude on anything.
You mentioned you came to Andromeda with someone?
Nothing
yeah,
gets
right.
by you. Guess that's why you're the Pathfinder. Just a friend. The one who woke me up early. But now she's not even that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's better to venture into the unknown without restraints or entanglements, don't you think?
It does sound lonely. You gotta have, you know, some relationship.
I don't know. Don't friends and loved ones make all the effort worthwhile?
I've always been self-motivated. Don't need much more than curiosity to drive me forward.
If that's the case, then would you terribly mind if I did this a little bit?
What does someone have to do to get you to flirt with them?
Not much at all.
Oh.
But I get a little extra jolt when I'm matched wink for wink. So just be yourself and the flirts will flow.
You don't mess around with that. You're very straightforward. I like the cut of your jib. Anyway, I can't talk to you anymore, so bye.
You're off the hook, BB. Good luck with your project.
Thanks. Don't be a stranger.
Oh, I won't. Can I... Oh, ah! Hey, Liam, what's up? Talk to me. Also, you're not Liam, you're Vetra. I'll talk to you first.
Terraforming, Atmo processors, gravity wells, life-destroying murder bubbles. We really had no idea what Helios was about, did we?
That's why it's an adventure. We discover things. The trail that we blaze and all that BS.
If we knew what it was all about, it wouldn't be an adventure. It would just be moving. And everyone hates moving. Just the packing alone, ugh.
Point taken.
Thank you.
I'm just saying. I really hope you have a plan, Ryder.
Then they don't plan too much, it might not come out right.
Like you said, we had no idea what Helios was really like. What good's a plan?
Adapting to problems as they come up. I like that.
Good. Since you're probably gonna have front row seats to me winging it.
Looking forward to the show.
I like you, Vetra. So, oh yeah, you were a part of this, weren't you?
You were on the Nexus when the revolt happened?
When you promise people golden worlds and all they get are wastelands and a death cloud, they riot.
Understandable.
Some wanted to go home, some demanded answers, and a couple just wanted to stir shit up.
And you?
Some days I wondered if the exiles had a point. Maybe we were conned into coming here. But why would the initiative go to all this trouble just to screw us over? Thing about conning people, you always know something they don't, and that's why the con works. And if I'm going to pick a side, I'm picking the liars.
Yeah, if it's a con, it's a pretty elaborate and expensive con. I think they were just as clueless about all these barren worlds and the Scourge as we were, so... You can't blame them too bad, they were just trying to help. But still, it's pretty shitty situation, that's what I meant to say, there we go. You did mention back channels.
You talked about your back channels. What did you mean?
We brought a lot from home. Some of it marked initiative, some of it in personal caches. Most things you want, someone's got. You just have to figure out who. and what they're willing to take in exchange.
Yeah, about that.
That just sounds like you're taking advantage of people.
Is it? I get people what they want, and they do want, or they wouldn't pay.
Okay, so you're kind of like a freelance type thing. Sure. And this is also flirting, which I don't just want to flirt with everyone. I mean, come on, that's being a playa, and I don't want to be that. So let's start with this.
How did you hear of the Andromeda initiative?
Short answer, Cash. She was looking for some experimental ship mods, and I knew how to track them down. I thought it was a one-time deal, but she came back. Once, twice. Eventually I figured out something was going on, something big with creds behind it. I asked and she told me about the initiative. New galaxy, new home. Couldn't pass that up.
God, I've heard that so many times, it's really getting tiresome. Oh, it's a promise of new beginnings. I just have to be a part of it. It's my true calling. Just shut the fuck up already.
You probably have work to do. We can chat later.
You know where to find me.
Actually, I don't, because when I first found you, you were over there, so... yeah. Doesn't really add up. Liam! What's going on? Hi. Your arm was in the container.
Prodromos. Prodromos. Sounds good, doesn't it? We started Pathfinder. A new life. That is goddamn brilliant.
I am glad you have confidence in me. Also, I can still flirt with you, and that is awesome. It's good to know that it's an option, even though I'm not going to do it. Maybe if I ever pick this game up again, I don't know, maybe I'll become a female and try to flirt with the males, or I can just be straight up homosexual. Or bisexual. I'll just flirt with everyone. Pansexual, even. All-inclusive. That's how I do. Tell me more about you.
We barely covered how you joined. Tell me something about yourself.
Alright, I was a bad student, piss poor cop, great responder. Had a good life, but it all been done. I wasn't looking to start over. I wanted to start big.
Tell me about your family.
Tell me about your family.
I miss the hell out of them. Some nights you just cry, right? That's the thing everyone does. Mom Joelle, Dad Calvin, both lawyers. Met on the Citadel, settled on Earth. No brothers or sisters. That might have been too much to leave. It was traditional. How about you?
What does traditional even mean anymore, man?
Traditional is a weird term for family. Like normal. Who's that describe?
I suppose you're right. I sure didn't keep to tradition. I said goodbye to my mom and dad, and got on a ship to Andromeda.
Alright, fair enough. How about this?
You were a cop, then crisis response? Couldn't have been long in either.
Didn't have the patience for law, so I figured enforcement. Dad knew it didn't fit before I did. But it got me into hustle. They mostly take vets and retired service. Best years of my life.
You as a cop does sound cliche, but a lot of things in this game are cliche, so I'm just gonna give you a pat on the back.
You found your place. Not everyone gets that.
I knew it. Glad for it every day. And that led me here.
Well, it's good to have you here, man. You're a good guy.
We'll talk later.
I know it.
Yeah, you better know that shit. I'm just gonna talk to literally everyone after every mission. Get used to it. Facial reconstruction suite. I forgot all about that. I'm gonna do that. Yes. So much yes. I need to... wait. Oh, wait. Right, I dropped down a floor. That's why I couldn't find anyone else. Got it. This better be what I'm actually expecting. Otherwise, I'm going to be very upset. Yeah, it would be somewhere in here, right? Can I access anything here? Yeah! Please tell me this is what I think it is. So I can actually do more things with my face. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the new and improved Spyro Rider. Hell yeah.
Where's my how'd you get under there?
Suvi, were you talking to your notebook?
Oh, I wasn't I? I do that sometimes.
Don't act like she's the only one who talks to inanimate objects like that. We're all guilty of it. Admit it. Whatever, it's not that big of a deal. Oh.
Good idea. I know I'll need a refresher.
Just a tip, if you need to evac in deep space, you're probably not coming back.
Only if you don't know the drill.
Drac and Cora are actually starting to get along after that little tiff they had. I'm glad to know that.
Report from the Nexus. Population's growing as people wake up. Lots of hopefuls waiting for a home.
Good.
Bradley will have all the help he can take.
They'll be starting crops soon. Can't tell if they have enough water or too much. I grew up on a little cargo freighter. Only saw gardens in vids, but I always loved them. I daydreamed about planting a big rose garden when we got here and still imagine it sometimes. Roses in Helios.
That's actually adorable.
So there's a heart soft as rose petals under that uniform.
I got plenty under here, pal. Does the big bad Pathfinder have a soft spot too?
I might. For certain someones.
Good to know. We've all got our something. I didn't for a while. After I left the Asari Commandos, well, I didn't leave. My mentor, Nasira, said I should go.
Why?
The initiative would suit you better, was all she said. Being a huntress suited me fine, but she insisted.
Well, you're here now, so maybe it was all preordained.
It sounds like she cared more about what you needed than about what you wanted.
That too.
I didn't need to be rejected. Still, that's familiar. When your biotics are honed into Huntress-grade weapons, people can be weird about it. The initiative seemed better. Just didn't see how I'd fit into their brave new galaxy. I never fit anywhere before. Then I met some jerk named Ryder. Talked about traveling to Andromeda like he was teaching you how to see it.
She sounds like a real asshole.
What part of that vision made you want to take the plunge?
A civilization where everyone had a place, even AI, or an overpowered human biotic. Your father said, I get being different. Now imagine being welcome and making others like you welcome too. When I was 13, I could warp a steel girder. He made me wonder, what if someone had told me that's okay?
That kind of reminded me of this movie that came out a few years ago called Chronicle, about these kids who acquire telekinetic powers and they can do all sorts of crazy things, but they like were out of control about them and they didn't really know how to control them. And there was one kid who was like dealing with child abuse from his father, and his mother was like dying of cancer or something, so he like put all of that rage and stress into his telekinetic powers, and it just fucked him over in the end. I'm glad someone reached out to you before it got to that point. I really am.
He gave you a dream to work toward. He was good at that.
Who doesn't want to belong? Especially somewhere like the Initiative. So I gave the Initiative my all. Kept thinking of the niche I wanted. My rose garden.
It's pronounced niche.
I thought I knew what I was going to be.
This is about not taking over as Pathfinder?
Didn't think it would still sting. Nasira, your father, even my parents. They leave, I'm left without answers. Nowhere to stand.
Life isn't fair, man. It's a harsh truth of life.
I get that. We've all had a lot of disappointments lately.
You're doing well. For having no training, being your second isn't so bad.
Aw.
And if that remnant tech pays off, maybe someday I'll have roses too.
I like getting to know you, Cora. I've actually got kind of an interesting story, and you've got a soft spot. I can dig it. Q. But that is a thing that I didn't want to run into. Okay, since I talked to literally every other crew member, might as well pick your brain while I'm right here.
Those remnant vaults, all those
Hi.
secrets. Have to go exploring in one someday.
Imagine flying through one. Now that would be a real hazard course.
Now you're thinking. That'd be fun. Tell me about things.
What can I do for you?
All of these.
If you helped to build the Tempest, you must know plenty about her.
Just about everything. By memory. It was quite the effort to get her working. The initiative needed absolutely up-to-date technology, which we all had to coordinate, and some of it was rather tricky to acquire.
Acquire?
By legally and above board, of course. Yes. Sadly, the other Pathfinder vessels were lost when the Scourge hit the Nexus. The Tempest is truly unique.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Tell me something else about the ship.
Her engine's based on the Ark's Odyssey drive, which got us through dark space. The core takes the static electricity it generates and stores it in capacitors. We basically make our own power supply. It took Serena and Tion weeks to get it working on a smaller ship. And a few electrical shocks.
Hey, sometimes you gotta make an omelet, you gotta crack some eggs. But still, that's pretty cool. Hey, you're just gonna tell me more about things, aren't you? Kind of like what Drac was telling me about with combat techniques, except this is actually fucking interesting.
Tell me something else about the ship.
Our aerospace engineer was Tianada Vasmore, a Quarian fellow, and absolutely fearless.
I haven't met any
Once,
Quarians
someone made
yet.
A scrap dealer pulled the "we don't sell to Quarians" nonsense.
What?
Tion found a workaround.
What did he do?
He glued a memory foam to his environmental suit. Then, during the negotiations, leaned against the drive core he wanted, very casual. It made a perfect mold of the components, and the scrap dealer was none the wiser.
That is actually incredibly crafty. Damn. Quarians are always, you know, like I said before, they're very, they're very mechanically intelligent. So, yeah, neato. Tell me more. This is actually really cool stuff.
Tell me something else about the ship.
The glass on board? It's actually a clear oxide and nanofiber compound. It bends rather than shattering.
How tough is it? We're only an arm's length away from hard vacuum.
Our testing involved 3 drunk Krogan with sledgehammers and a C-Sec battering ram. It's sturdy.
That'll do it. My god, I'm learning so much about science. Science, bitch! Yeah, bitch! Magnets! Okay, tell me about Solarians.
You know, I haven't actually met many Solarians.
Careful. Depending who you ask. We're conniving spies, genius researchers, or meddling scientists.
Yeah, sounds about
We have
right.
to pack a lot of living into 40-odd years. Everything gets accelerated. Lines blur. I just hope we don't repeat our old mistakes out here.
Yeah, I totally forgot that compared to a lot of other species, you guys' life expectancy is incredibly short. So, yeah, make the best of it. I mean, you seem pretty cool in my book, so yeah, glad to have you on board. So, what do you think of the other people that we're sharing our ship with?
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Well, I can't talk about Suvi. She's sitting right there.
Lexi talked
I'm
about
listening.
Drac.
You can say whatever you like.
Oh no, I'm not falling for that again.
Is that it? Do you only have an opinion on Suvi and you can't tell me because you're afraid she'll hear something that she won't like? Come on, man, talk to me.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
I'll admit it. Gil's rather irritating. He insists on redesigning systems rather than maintaining them.
He likes to do things his way.
That doesn't make it the right way.
I know how you feel, honestly. Yeah. People will, you know, they can be fickle sometimes. So how more people, please.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Liam's quite fun. Not many humans have that kind of energy.
Yeah, he's
I
cool.
probably shouldn't have told him there are secret compartments in the armory, though. He's been looking all day.
I have a feeling there aren't sacred compartments in the armory. So not only is he fun and energetic, he's also gullible. God damn it, Callow.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Dr. Tapero seems nice, if quiet. It must be very different here, compared to the Hyperion. Fewer people in stasis shock.
Let's keep it that way.
Agreed. She has her work cut out for her, as is, I'd say. especially with PB. Are you going to talk to me about PB or any other, people?
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Given Drax's history with Solarians, it's probably better I just stay out of his way.
Yeah.
Too bad. That grunion roast he makes smells delicious.
Oh yeah, he's a cook, right? I'm actually getting hungry. I should probably get something to eat soon. More people.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
I like PB, but I really hope she doesn't lean on the escape pod's manual release by accident.
Is that easy to do?
It's an escape pod. If it's difficult to use, you're doing it wrong.
I should probably tell PB about that, because I don't want her, launching off into like a black hole or something. That would be really just bad all around. Yeah.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Vetra's very kind. She actually got hold of some dried seaweed snacks for me. Said I needed feeding up.
Dude, I want some dried seaweed snacks. That shit's delicious. I gotta hit her up.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
I don't talk to Cora much. She always seems so busy. There are things I'd like to ask her about your father, but it never seems like a good time.
Yeah, it's a kind of a touchy subject, so I'd say... maybe give her some space on that. Is that everyone, or am I missing someone?
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Oh, if I gossip anymore, I'll get in trouble.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Lexi said you were a gossip, but you don't like talking about yourself. So, I'll leave you to it.
I'll let you concentrate.
You know where I'll be.
Alright, so I know I said that I was going to do the main mission, but I just remembered that I got an email from August telling me to come back to EOS. So I'm going to do that right now. Do it. Yeah. To everyone who tuned into this video, thank you so much, and I hope you had just as much fun watching as I did playing. So, until next time, catch you guys later. Bye for now.